Hi there. Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? This is Burning Spear Patriot, and I'm joined by the lovely Libby Lioux for another One Patriot podcast / video.
Hello, hi. Welcome back to One Patriot. Thank you for the introduction. I am Libby the Patriot, and I'm excited for this podcast today.
Yes. Definitely. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Make sure you guys hit the like button and make sure you share it with your friends and family. We are definitely trying to grow this channel as much as possible. We want to get the word out. We want to get our mission out. We want to get our vision out and make sure that everyone that is interested in this movement gets to know and hear what we're all about.
Yeah. I think, I'm especially excited about this. We've been talking a lot about like federal news and like national news.
Mm-hmm.
And really just want to bring it back into like One Patriot. So
yeah, definitely. Today is going to be a different podcast. We've been focused on current events, political events, nationwide events in the country, but we want to bring it back in and focus more on the movement of One Patriot. We want to focus on maybe bringing it back to the local level. There are certain topics that we want to cover and make sure that we tackle and meet our goals locally. Because on the federal level, it affects us, but not as much as local level politics affects us. We deal with local level politics on a day-to-day basis, whether we realize it or not. One of the things that I wanted to focus on, and we talked about this earlier, was the school boards, the school districts that affect our communities. They affect our communities in a way that they are in direct contact with our children more hours out of the day than you are with your children. They have an influence on your children that is immeasurable. So we want to be able to dictate and have as much as influence, if not more influence, on what our children are learning in these schools.
Definitely. We need a bigger voice, a bigger say.
Mm-hmm.
We need more parent involvement. And I think that, silver lining to COVID is that parents got a sneak peek into what's happening in the classroom, and they are not happy.
Oh, no. A lot of things that have been happening, parents were like unaware of.
Right.
They had no clue, which is, like you said, it was a silver lining, a blessing in disguise. I mean, there was a lot of bad things about COVID, but those are one of the bright spots that gave a parent an opportunity to see what was going on in their children's schools. So
the education portion of during COVID was trash.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like kids are so far behind, nationally speaking. But we got an insight. So
yes, and that is something that is very important. That is something, local politics, like we said earlier, affects us on a day-to-day basis. And the fact that communities aren't more involved with it is a shame. And I wanted to make a concentrated effort on maybe laying out some goals and laying out some things that we can do as One Patriot to get more involved in these community politics. So local politics that affect us on a day-to-day basis. Because when you look at it, Joe Biden is in office. I mean, perfect example. When he was saying you have either two choices. You either wear the mask or you get the vaccine. Well, that's all fine and dandy. He can say that all he wants. But states are their own sovereign states. Cities are their own sovereign cities. They dictate what goes on Federal wise, they can scream and holler all they want, but the states are who make the final decision. The states are who has the power. Joe Biden says that, oh, you can go out and have maybe a barbecue with your family. But Florida's been having barbecues with their family this entire time. Texas has been having barbecues with their families this entire time. Joe Biden it's just hot air what he's saying. You know, at the end of the day, there's only so much a president or somebody who is on the federal level can do. Because, like I said earlier, the states, the cities are who dictates your everyday life. We need to be focused in channeling our energy on that, into that. So as One Patriot, that's something that I think we should focus on in the immediate future.
Absolutely.
Like I said, the school district, the school boards, they are running indoctrination camps, in my opinion. Far left indoctrination camps. You wonder why your kid is coming out of school, coming home to you and telling you that they feel like they are the gender that they weren't born, or the sex that they weren't born.
Yeah.
It's because
my friend is suddenly a boy today.
Yes.
Like,
Exactly.
7, 8 years old. You don't just decide overnight, oh, I'm a boy, and everybody just rolls with it.
Yeah, you don't roll with that, man, because like, when you were a little girl, what did you think that you were? What did you want to be? I mean, like, I wanted to be and I felt that I was a part of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mermaid. You were a little mermaid. You were Ariel. You know what I mean? Like, you felt in the bottom, and I felt that I was, like, honestly.
4.
Yeah. So how can a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old be able to say that there's something, and as adults, we just roll along with it? We don't have any pushback. Why is it when it comes to gender, there is such and I know we're kind of getting off topic, but this is just an example of what, schools are allowing. Why is there such if a child decides that they are the opposite gender of what they are,
Gender at all.
or no gender at all, why aren't we just going along with it? And if we do try to push back on it, we're bigots.
Right. Isn't that our role as adults, to make sure that our children are mentally stable and happy and healthy?
Yeah, it's our job to say no.
We shouldn't be plotting, any sort of body dysmorphia and embracing it, right? Like,
yeah, we should be.
That's not to say we should hate true transgender. I'm not saying that. Like, I
No, I don't believe.
Adults.
This might sound bigoted, but I don't believe anybody is transgender unless you are 18 and older.
That's what I'm saying. Like, once you're an adult, I'll be like, okay,
Yeah,
and
you.
therapy,
Yeah.
You're not just like on some trendy whim, like, yeah, sure, I'll try out.
Yeah, there's no, and then they have the old. Some of these. This is one of the reasons why I say you need to be more involved locally. There are some states and there are some cities and school districts that within these states and cities that are allowing kids to go through with hormonal. I don't know if you say therapy, hormonal therapy, or medication to change their sex or to change their gender or whatever, because it says that there were surveys and studies that say that they will be better off. But in actuality, that's not true because the suicide rate stays the same.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Let's talk about suicide rate alone. Like, that is the biggest reason to not advocate for a child. Obviously, again, this one comes close to home. But you have a transgender child, right? They may very well end up growing up to be a transgender adult. But even then, like you said, the suicide rate doesn't shift. Like, it's not like a drop off that I'm not like, oh, I'm transgender now, I'm gonna live my life and be happy. It's like, no, you still have severe.
Absolutely. You still have severe problems. You're still mentally ill. That doesn't fix the problem of their mental illness. Being able to change your genitals or change your hormonal functions of your body does not cure you of your mental illness.
In some rare cases, it can like help you live a happy, healthier life. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess.
It's
rare.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it can, but like when it comes to suicide, it's definitely not made a difference when it comes to suicide. So, no. I mean, hey,
I think that you can be truly transgender and have gender reassignment surgery, and your life may improve, but the vast majority of people are looking for just like, oh yeah, that's my problem. I'm a male,
mm-hmm.
I'm a biological female, and you're expecting this grandiose like, I'm fixed now.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're still hurt, you're still broken,
yeah.
for whatever reason that may be, but it's not a cure all, it's not a quick save, and it's definitely not a trendy, light thing to jump into on a whim when you're 5, 6, 7, 8 years old.
Yeah, and that's just one aspect of it. I mean, these schools are just, allowing this crap to go on, and then you got the whole critical race theory thing that is just sweeping the school boards and sweeping the school districts, and they're trying to implement that into our education for our children. That is a complete racist and false theory.
Yep.
That is it's pretty much just enacting racism into school.
It's 100%.
That's what. Yeah.
It's absolutely that, and I think it stems to in the demoralization of our society,
mm-hmm.
right? Like making people think that they're lesser than.
Yeah.
That there's. That they see them, they break down like, oh, I'm a terrible colonizer.
Yeah, oh yeah, and that's their goal.
Yeah.
They want to take the strongest of society, and they want to make them weak. Right now, they've, the white community has always been had all the resources. They've always been the strongest of society when we're talking about power, when we're talking about so the powers that be want to change the society. And in order to do that, you have to get the strongest that is keeping society the way it is out of the way. You have to demoralize them. You have to divide them. You have to make sure that they are weak. So this is where they get them at. They get them when they're young. You have to get them when they're young.
You can't make a huge shift into something like communism or socialism without overnight, right?
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
It has to be a slow process.
Slow burn.
Yeah.
And exactly what you just said. You got to starting with the children.
Yes.
Starting there, watching them grow, being there every step of the way while they grow, ingraining them with these mentalities.
So yeah, exactly. And if you heard the State of the Union, I know we're talking about local, but if you guys remember the State of the Union, Joe Biden proposed having kids start school earlier.
Yep.
What was it, 3 to 4 years old? Mm-hmm. So they want to get to your kids earlier, at an earlier age. Think about that for a second. The first teachers of children is the mother. They are trying to take that away, and they want the government to be the mother. They want the government to be the daddy. Big government wants to just have complete control of your life, of your family, of your children. They want to be able to influence the future so they can stay in the power. It's like a virus, A virus wants to get into the host that is going to I don't know, maybe that's a dumb analogy, but like, a virus wants to survive, doesn't it? So it wants to get into a strong host and keep and survive and multiply, and you know what I mean? So what they want to do is get into strong families. The big government is like a virus. They want to get into a hold of strong families that hold up healthy nations, and they want to infect it with their virus, bring that strong nation down to where the virus is taking in complete control. It's not a bad analogy after all, but like it's like, yeah, it's like they want to have complete control of the host so they can survive, they can control, they can get their ideas and have them be the dictator, them be the ultimate leader in your everyday life. Now,
before we move on to that, I do want to state, like, I can see the benefit, right? Like starting young, I think kids should be educated younger, but properly, or like,
but
with actual learning, cognitive development, right? Not instilling any other type of values, because it is hard, like, especially if you're a working parent, if you're a single parent, it's like waiting until your kid is 5 is like, oh, there's a lot there. But then I think, again, to that point, it comes back to community, right? Like, there should be a community structure to where we're not relying on the government to be the primary educator at such a young age.
And I would probably be all for that if they did not have some kind of ulterior motive. The thing is that they want to get to your kids because they want to indoctrinate your kids. They want to be able to have that influence on your kids. They don't want the community to raise the kids. They want the government to raise the kids. If it was a noble reason, or if they weren't so hell-bent on having so much control over your life, maybe I would be okay with it. But you know what? I think parents should be able to bite the bullet and be able to be like, hey, I'm going to be the first teacher in my child's life, not the freaking government. Sorry.
No, amen. I agree fully. I'm just being, because I was in that position, right?
Yeah, and I understand. Like, it's very hard. I mean, I don't understand because I'm not a parent, but I can see and I sympathize, or what is it, empathize or sympathize?
Both.
Okay, yeah, I empathize and I sympathize with parents that struggle. And yes, it would be a big relief. And that's the sexy factor about it. That's the attractive factor about it, which is like, oh yeah, parents, oh my God. Yeah, it's like, God, that would be so great if they can just take my kids and just, it'd be a burden off of my back, like, because they would be able to take the kids and I wouldn't have to worry about it. I could just focus on my career and working and like making money. I don't. Child care, exactly. It's like Big Daddy government is coming to save the day. Exactly. And that's attractive, Yeah. But at the same time, if you're thinking about the future of this country, if they were so hell-bent on hating this country and hating the people of this country, I wouldn't be so, against adverse to it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think what it comes back to, which I think, we're going to jump into more here, is making sure if that does happen, even if it doesn't happen at any level, getting more involved in
school board meetings, district meetings, get involved with the PTA, get involved with the, and I don't have any children currently, but I feel as a person that pays taxes, as a person who cares about the direction this country is going, as a person who is worried about the future of the children in this country, just because you don't have any children does not mean that you should not be showing up to these school board meetings and these town hall meetings. I have never done it, but I damn sure going to make a conscious effort to do so in the future. So this is something, if I have to change my schedule, if I have to change, whatever, I'm going to do more I'm going to definitely do more to make sure that happens, that I make sure that I do my part. So we tackled the school board, volunteering, doing more things.
Getting to know the other parents.
Yes.
Too is huge.
Absolutely.
How, it's like, if you don't have parents that aren't connecting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially this year, like there's no parent interaction, so it's like you don't know who your allies are.
Absolutely. So, and I feel like, moving forward, we should be coming back with a vengeance. Now that we actually had firsthand experience on how these school districts and the school board works, we should be coming back with a vengeance. Like, what the hell has been going on? Because we saw firsthand what goes on. And that's why you're seeing more and more patriotic parents are coming to these school boards and these school board meetings livid, pissed off about what their children are learning in these schools, what they're teaching our kids. And that is something that was inspiring to me. That is something that I hope was inspiring to you. I'm sure it was. And I would, it just hypes me up to see it. I forget where it was. I think it was in Virginia, some city in Virginia, or some school district in Virginia. These parents, like parent after parent, was reading excerpts. Is that the right word? Excerpts from this book that they are like is a required reading for these kids. And it had some of the most vulgar language, like pornographic language. It was no different than reading a sex book or a sex erotic story.
What book was this?
I think it was called oh my gosh. I gotta look that up. If you can look that up. It was crazy. And each parent, like they used their time to read, like, how you have a certain amount of time to read. I think it's called Welcome something. I forget what book it was. But these parents were coming one after the other, reading excerpts from the book. And each one of those, these were different portions of the book or different parts of the book. Yeah. And each part was like super vulgar, super like just sexual. It's like I said, it reminded me of a dang sex erotic story. It was crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of them, right? It's not giving me the title of the book though.
Yeah.
I guess it's irrelevant to our conversation. I just personally want to know more about it.
Mm-hmm.
But Monday's not coming?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. That's exactly,
At the same time, we're banning Dr. Seuss, right?
Yeah.
We're banning Huckleberry Finn. Like, really? But this type of crap is pushed onto kids.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And yeah. So Virginia parents torch Loudoun County School Board over critical race theory. And in one of the books where you said, what was it? What is it?
Monday's not coming.
Monday's not coming. Yeah. Oh my gosh. These are, this is the same district actually that banned, like you said, banned Dr. Seuss. They banned Huckleberry Finn. But they have no problem reading pornographic material. These people are, I'm going to just call it what it is. These people are demons. These people, this is exactly what devils would do. I don't mean to get religious, but this is the same thing religious. That, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like, this is what demons do. They point the finger and they shine a shiny light on something that is pretty much harmless. Yeah. And say they find out one little itty bitty thing to go, that is politically incorrect or whatever, and they shine a light on that. While in the meantime, in the dark, they're doing all of this just disgusting,
distracting up here,
yes,
while doing dirty deeds over here.
Exactly. And the mainstream media's,
yeah, as you know,
the mainstream media is not going to cover any of it. The mainstream media doesn't cover any of this stuff. It's and that's why I say locally, these communities need to take their children's education back.
Yeah.
Banning Dr. Seuss, banning Huckleberry Finn. You kidding me? In replacing it with this garbage erotic story filth, and replacing it with racist theory. Kidding me? It's crazy. We need to be more involved with this type of stuff.
Agreed. And I personally, I think, I love that you're so passionate about it. Like, your concern.
Yeah.
My kids is.
Yeah, I mean.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the kids, they're going to be the future of this country, and I'd be damned if I just let it go by without saying anything, because I pay taxes too. And some of that tax money that I pay goes to the education of these children. So I definitely should have a say.
An investment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't want to see this country crumble. And like you said earlier, this is something that we need to be involved in. Like you said, when the school, parents need to be networking with each other.
Yeah.
Parents need to be, like I said, volunteering to go to the school board. If we have to organize together, okay, I can't do it this day. How about you, like a schedule, maybe set up a schedule to where we have a representative that goes there and speaks for the community on behalf of the community. Organization is like so important. Like organize. It's so important with the parents. Network with them. Make sure that we're all on the same page, and then we go in there with a targeted idea.
Concentrated. I don't want to say. I'm not even going to say the word. Just like concentrated efforts, right? Like this is what we want to accomplish. This is what we're specific things that we're standing up against.
Yeah.
Just like and getting ahead of it before it's even presented.
Yes.
I think, like
holding these school board members accountable, making sure like we know what's on their agenda, and if they put some BS out on the table, we are going to reject that with a emphatic rejection.
Before it even gets to the table, like we know that critical race theory is coming down, right?
Yeah.
We demand?
Are there plans in the future? Yes. Are there plans in the future for this critical? And I want, get everybody on the record on the school board. Do you just even ask, even question? Like, I want to get everybody on the record right now, because you are elected by the people, right? Or you are appointed by somebody that the people elected, right? I'm not sure. To be honest with you, I don't know how school board members are appointed or elected.
They can be voted in.
Okay, they can be voted in. Well, we will make goddamn sure that if you are pushing, or if you even entertain this critical race theory, or any of this 1619 project, whatever the hell that crap is, if you are even entertaining that, you are gone. You're done. You will be replaced. So. And I will do everything in my power to make sure that happens. I will get signatures. I will be out in the hot ass sun. I will be out there. That is like all my days will be focused on that. Like all my off time, my weekends will be focused on that. That is not going to happen. Not in this city. Not while I'm living there. Not while I'm paying taxes. Not in this state. I'm sorry. That cannot happen. That cannot happen. So, like I said, what we need to do, we got to do, network with people. And also through social media. I mean, there's content creators that I found on YouTube that are local. A lot of what I've been focused on lately has been a lot of local issues. We can go to the audits in these various states. What the state that we're living in is Arizona. So the audits of the Arizona elections is what's the main focus on politically, locally. So a lot of those people can have the same concerns. The content creators on YouTube, some of them are pretty popular. A lot of them are concerned with the same things. And I feel like as one Patriot, we can do more of an effort to definitely network with those type of people, rub elbows with those type of people. That is going to be the direction that we are going to be moving forward in. Networking, rubbing elbows, sharing ideas, sharing plans on how to move in the future.
Because it all comes back to that the pillar of one Patriot, right?
Right.
It starts with the individual connecting with this other individual, and eventually building, that mindset, that network, that movement, that vision. So yeah, that's where we're headed with it, and I'm really excited about it. I've been honestly craving it because, especially over the past year, there's not been a ton of ways to get involved.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay, sit in your house and.
Which is very, very strategically.
Yes.
Planned. If you make, that's why a lot of people call it the scamdemic, plandemic.
Yeah. It was a plan.
Whenever you have to, whenever you want to make changes, dramatic changes, you have to keep the people from communicating with each other. Because when you do that, you're able to do all your dirty deeds, do all your little sinister plans, because people aren't talking with each other. Like, hey, did you see it? Did you hear what, just like parents at like a baseball game, a little league baseball. Hey, did you hear what happened? Did you hear what, Biden or what, did you hear what Mayor X or whoever is going to implement? Wow, that's crazy. Yes. Like, and then you keep the conversation going, and then you both get emotional and riled up about it, and that triggers organization, and that triggers action. And this is what they've been trying to take away. Yep. They want to take away the communication between the community and the people.
Absolutely. That just happened to me recently, right? Mm-hmm. Like something as small as bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
Bus stop, drop off, pick up, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, normally in prior years, I'd get out and talk to other parents and communicate. We're at a different bus stop now. I don't know, but everyone's just kind of like, stay in the car.
Yeah.
Don't talk, it's a pandemic.
Yeah.
And then recently there was like a temporary bus stop. I won't get into all of it. Anyway, I ended up starting to talk to some of the other moms. Mm-hmm. And it's like, at first it was like reserved, because conservatives are typically independent, like not that they're unfriendly, but it's
they just don't like I was in the store the other day, and people don't like, sometimes I wear different shirts, like politically driven shirts, right? And conservatives are generally like afraid to talk to somebody unless they have a clear sign of, you know what I mean? Once they have, if they have a clear sign, then they'll be like, oh, hey, I love your shirt. Hey, I love your hat. Oh, yeah, right on, dude. But conservatives, they're so like, and that's what ticks me off about them, is because we are so afraid to voice our opinions because we're afraid of being ostracized from society. People are comfortable going outside screaming Black Lives Matter. They have no problem. There's like, it's normalized. It's like, if you don't scream Black Lives Matter, you're an outcast. You know what I mean? So it's like, and they always do it to me. Like they always like, I'm, me, I don't care who, I will say how I feel about something politically. I don't give a damn who it is. I don't give a damn who it offends. And I have no problem with that. You know what I mean? I don't understand why people have some, like, I'm not afraid of being canceled. I don't care about being canceled. I'm not trying to be a part of the, like, it's like in the Bible. It's, it says something along the line like
In the world,
it.
but not of the world.
Yes, in the world, but not of the world. I am in the world. I don't serve anybody in the world. You know what I mean? I am a person who is not concerned with the world. So miss me with all, huh?
I'm breaking out of my cocoon.
Yeah. I'm not concerned with trying to conform to the world. The world can go screw itself for all I care.
Yeah.
So.
But, oh, no, go ahead. I was just going to finish up the bus stop.
Yeah, sorry to interject
Oh, no,
on your
it's
story.
okay. We have so many things to talk about. But no, it was just like this revelation of like, I can't remember. It was like a small drop, like a small mention of like, oh, a kid came out as transgender to
Yeah.
a mom's friend, and she like was talking about it, and she's like, all of a sudden this little girl wants to identify as a boy, like overnight, out of nowhere.
How old was the kid?
8.
Mm.
And it's like completely out of the blue.
It was overnight. Was there any any indication that she was
whatsoever.
playing with a G.I. Joe or playing with?
No.
Nope.
No.
Just,
This
I'm a
was
boy.
Girl, full.
Girly girl.
But it was like this little subtle mention of it, and it was like, hey, and it just that little that signal like we should talk. It's like there's an Office reference. Have you ever seen The Office?
Yeah, I watched a couple. They played it in my
It's like
yeah.
24 away. I'm like, that's how I feel like.
Yeah.
Yes. But realizing there's so many moms at the bus stop that are like conservative, and I'm like, yes, like let's all get together and do things.
Yeah.
It was great. The feeling was so good.
Yeah.
Like, it's very.
Yeah,
empowering.
it's very refreshing to find like-minded people because have the mainstream tell it. Most people who are conservative are the minorities, or you're not a part of society. Society is moving on without you. No, that's not necessarily true. We are just not as vocal as the loud minority.
But we're going to be.
But we need to change that, and we are starting to change that, which gives me hope because for a while, we had this conversation. It's like, I feel like we were on a trajectory of, this country just crumbling. And I never believed that this country was going to crumble from an outside entity. It was going to be something that was going to take it down from within, internal. Yeah. And I feel like those seeds are planted already. We have to be the weed killer.
Yeah.
We have to be the weed whackers.
Yeah.
So
or even better than that, like we have to plant a stronger seed, right? Like
yeah.
A stronger crop. I don't know. But
yeah, no, that's true.
Because we don't want to just kill everything, right? Like,
no, we don't want to. We want to. When I say kill something, I say kill the ideas, or kill the things that are going to kill the ideas, kill the entity. When I say kill, I want to kill critical racist theory. I want to kill 1619 Project. I want to kill all of that. I don't necessarily mean kill the people. I'm talking about the ideas and the theories that are being used to poison our kids' minds. That's what I want to kill.
I'm saying choke it out with something stronger, right? Because if you don't, yes, absolutely, it should be killed, done. Should not be pushing this anymore. But if we don't replace it, with something stronger, then another form of it's just going to pop out.
Right, because they are working overtime and extra hard to kill our ideas.
Yeah, exactly. And
so yes, we are at war right now. Like a lot of conservatives don't realize we are at war. We are in a cultural war. They're waking up. Yeah, they're waking up.
They're waking up. And the shift that I've seen in conservatives, even in the past few months, has been like, okay, all right, we're getting some things going.
Yeah.
Let's continue it. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just to segue into another topic, I wanted to. We have a logo that we are using for our One Patriot, but it is currently a clip art, and I wanted to see if we can change that logo into something a little bit more original.
Yeah.
Now, as I alluded to earlier, we are in the state of Arizona, and we want to, like this topic is focused on local politics and the direction of this organization or movement moving forward in a local context.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make that logo reflect something local. So I was thinking, if you want to, object to it or make a better idea, an animal that is local or native to the state of Arizona.
Okay.
My top pick was a black bear.
I love that.
Okay, did you?
I'm a big fan of bears in general. They're one of my favorite animals. I think they're very strong. I think there's a lot of potential in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also, yeah. I don't know, did you have other?
Yeah, I mean, another one that's local too is the bobcat.
Yeah.
The bobcat is local. We have, what else is local? We have owls that are local, which is good because it represents wisdom. The bobcat is, I guess, this is the Arizona mascot, but I guess it's Wildcats.
Yeah.
Arizona Wildcats. But I mean,
It's a little different.
Yeah, it's a little
I
different.
like it.
Yeah.
I think I like bear too because, well, I don't know. We go back and forth because we want to stay local, but eventually we want this idea to go nationally, right? Like,
Yeah.
So the bear I think is good because, yes, we have this specific bear to Arizona, right? But then there's other bears
Yeah.
in other places, which
Yeah.
is so expanding on that.
But I still don't mind having something local representing the movement because we want to stick to our roots too. We
Yeah.
want to remember where we come from,
Absolutely.
which is having a native Arizona animal is something, as a mascot or as a logo, is something that will remind us where we started, keep us grounded, remind us where we come from and our roots.
So it's got a javelina. Or a snake.
Yeah, javelina snakes is out of the picture because I do not like javelinas at all.
No, me either. We probably hate them for different reasons.
Oh,
They're
no, I hate them for the same reason as you. I mean, I think I would hate them for the same reason. They destroy and mess up your property. You know what I mean? They're like freaking. They destroy everything. They're like liberals. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not.
That's right. No, you're not. Smelling. So, yeah, I think, or maybe we could take a poll on it, like a vote.
Yeah, that'll be great. And I also want to put this out there. So all the listeners that have creative minds and are creative, or somebody who is creative, I'm putting it out there right now. I will commission you to come up with a logo. We can discuss details. You can email me and I'll put it in the description box. Go ahead and use the One Patriot. Tell them the One Patriot email.
Well, you have your own.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll say, okay. Kurt. All right, so the actual one that we're going to use is Libby Lioux at onepatriot.co or Burning Spear at onepatriot.co.
Okay. Yeah, just email us your ideas. I am definitely going to make sure that I can commission you for your designs and let us know. Like, we are ready to move forward with this thing.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, if you have another idea too, if you're local to Arizona, Arizona, and have another idea, drop it in the comments because.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any animals. I'm gonna leave it open. Like, if you guys have better animals or better, like, I do want to keep it specific to an animal that represents this state. So I want to, that's what we agreed on going to going forward. So if you can come up with a design that is any animal that's local, we're open to figuring that out, and me and you are going to pick and decide on what we like best. So
Bear is top of my list.
Bear is on top of my list, but if you guys can come up with a badass, bobcat design, or a badass owl design, or a badass, whatever animal that's local to Arizona, go ahead. The bear is not the end all be all. So
No, but I do
yeah,
love it.
yeah.
I have a vision.
It's something that we would prefer, but if you guys have a better, idea, then throw it at us.
Yeah.
And speaking of, commission and money, and I wanted to get into the topic of raising money.
Yeah.
So, raising money, we are going to get into a plethora of different things. I had an idea of doing car washes for the community. I had the idea of selling candy for the community, and a merch line that we want to come up with, which is another thing that I wanted to put out there. We will commission artists, we will commission designers to come up with different designs for merch, because we want to get this thing on the road. We want to get this thing, the wheels turning on this movement. So let us know. We dropped the email to you, and we will be putting it in the description box. So we can discuss finances, and we can discuss all of that through email. So the focus is going to be on, these were just the ideas that I just came up with off the top of my head. And I know they might not be, they might be kind of cheesy or just plain, but I don't know if you had any other ideas. But the car washes, I think that is good because you're interacting with the community. And I also want to tie the element of patriotism with the car wash, which is going to be something that I want to do to interact and get the community to support us. A Patriot car wash, give discounts to veterans, give discounts to senior citizens, and make sure that we're giving back to the community, make sure that there's at least an exchange for a product that is going to financing this movement, and making sure we give something back, like a car wash, or make sure we give something back, like candy. Yeah, bake sale. You know what I mean? Candy, bake sale, a merch line, something, that we get the badass designs on this merch, and we put it out to the people so they have an opportunity to represent their country, represent this movement, represent what values that they believe in. So that's something that I want to, those are just a few things that I thought of to, raise money, raise awareness, and raise our ideas.
I love those.
Yeah.
Put my kids to work.
Yes.
Yes. I do also, eventually I'd like to do like, not like a gala. I'd have to think about it a little bit. Kind of like just a party, like a dinner party for local patriots. And, we can talk about what some of the proceeds would definitely be for growing our effort, but also donating a portion of them to foundation. And again, if you have like a local foundation, a local charity that you're...
Oh, you mean like one of those parties, like where it's like $5 a plate, or like $10 a plate or something?
Yes.
And then we can have get our ideas out and interact with the community. Yeah, just talk to people. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's what politicians do.
Exactly. But we'll have it be cooler and not $10,000 a plate.
Right.
We'll have it accessible to
Yeah,
people.
absolutely.
Yeah, I can definitely
Yeah, I think the car washes would be very, very good, because what we can do is, like I said, add the patriot element to it. They'll see that there are kids out there. Obviously, you're gonna have your kids, and your their friends, or your nephews, or your nieces, or whoever is going to be out there. So they're gonna see, okay, these kids are working hard. These kids are out here trying to raise money for a good cause, and
I want to
it's a
instill that in their kids.
right. Absolutely. So I feel like that is something that'll get, like, when cars are just passing by, they're saying, "Oh, what is one patriot? What is, what is, I wonder what that is. I wonder what this is." Like, so they'll come in and they'll see, maybe they'll come in not necessarily to get a car wash, but just word of mouth, we can tell them about it if they have any questions. And I want to make sure, if we do, and I know this is something that we should probably be brainstorming and not on a podcast, but I want to be open and transparent with you guys,
I like that
Is
we're
that,
having this conversation.
yeah,
Honestly.
yeah, and if you guys have any ideas, just drop it in the comment section, on how to get this movement growing. We're not. This is something that we came up with, and we don't have all the answers. And we realize that, at least I know that you're smart. I don't consider myself like the smartest person in the room all the time, but I feel like, well, thank you, but I feel like I don't have all the answers. So I'm always.
That's a sign of intelligence.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're not the smartest person, knowing that you're not the person that has all the answers, and knowing that you need help is the first step to be successful. So
there's a lot to be said about that adage, like, you should never be the smartest person in the room.
I don't want to be around people.
I want to learn.
Yes.
I want to get ideas.
Here's something that I heard Kanye West say, and I thought it was very, very smart. And I thought it's one of the reasons why he has become so successful. I don't want to be around people when I'm in my creative process, or when I'm in my, in the context of making product, in the context of making something happen. I don't want to be surrounded by people that I am better at. Like, or I don't want to, that came out wrong. I don't want to be surrounded by people who can't do things better than I can do.
Right. No.
He said this, and I was like, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense, and that is the reason why he is so successful. He does not surround himself with people that cannot do things better than he can. He's always surrounded by people that are more talented than him. Which is that is his genius. That is why most successful people are better. I mean, Steve Jobs did the same thing. Steve Jobs did not surround himself around people that were less talented than him.
No. Definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can have self-motivation and drive.
Yeah.
To be better, and like still seek to like inspire people.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing, but you should be surrounding yourself.
Yes, with more smarter people.
Yes.
That are for your idea and for your, you don't want people who are going to, sway you the wrong way.
Yeah.
Which is one of my criticisms of Donald Trump, which I digress.
Yeah.
That is another topic.
That one,
yes.
I think that's going to be a big conversation that we should have. On a podcast, because he's running.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, that's all I got. I don't know if you wanted to speak on another topic or.
I think the other thing too that I just wanted to touch on a little bit was, we want to have like these car washes and get involved in community and like have a voice. But the other thing that I really want to dive into is volunteering. Getting involved, just helping out the community too, like food banks or Scott Pressler, right?
Mm-hmm.
He just goes out and picks up trash.
Yeah.
Day after day after day. That's amazing. Like,
I think that's amazing too.
Turn their nose up and scoff at that, and like, I'm not doing that. Like,
Yeah.
That's the stuff I want to be doing. Like, boots
Yeah.
on the ground.
That is definitely, something that I feel that I would love to get involved with. One other thing that I used to be involved with was coaching. I used to be very involved with coaching and being an influence directly with children. We talk about how much these school boards have so much influence on our kids. I feel like I'm not a teacher. I don't have the education to be a teacher. I've never, gone to school to be a teacher, but I know how to teach in a different way, in a different context. Sports and being a coach is a form of teaching. So that is something that I want to get back into. I want to teach mainly from the grades of 6th grade to 8th grade, because I think that I feel like high school, they're kind of already molded.
Yeah, some molding can be hard, but those are crucial years.
Yes, 6th to 8th grade, because you know what? That's the time when their brains and their body is changing the most. Yes. I feel like 6th to 8th grade is when everything happens, and it's a pivotal, crucial time, like you said. So I want to be in that. I want to be in that time frame or of a child's development. Yeah. So coaching is one of the things that I wanted to get into. That's my way of, doing my part of getting involved and volunteering for, the community.
I fully support that.
Yeah.
I know just your involvement in my own kid's life has been amazing. Like, they've learned so much.
Yeah, your kids are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You're a great aspect of that. So,
well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, but coaching throws me back. I used to coach cheerleading.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'll get involved in that too.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Help these little girls and even some of the little boys that want to cheerlead. Definitely is be something that that I think you would be great at doing. You've already done it. I've already done coaching, so it's like
champs.
Yeah. You've done better than I did. I think we went to citywide one time and we lost, but it was a great experience, and it's like something I hope to get back into. But I think that about wraps it up.
I think so. Summarize. Get involved in communities. We're going to get involved in communities, and we're going to document it along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Making videos. I don't know. I keep going back and forth if we should make like a Instagram account or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah, make Instagram and Twitter and all of that,
Yeah,
Make sure.
Yeah, I have a Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Libby Lou.
I don't have a Twitter. They banned me like 3 times.
Yeah.
So it's whatever. Maybe we could make a One Patriot Twitter account.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, so we'll do that. We'll document it and like this content.
Subscribe and hit that share button, and make sure you guys are sharing it with your friends and your family and anybody that you know online. Yeah. I'm Burning Spear Patriot signing off.
And I'm Libby Lou Patriot signing off.
Thank you.
For joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye.